University. He is also the author of Eurozone Politics. Philip, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
What do you make of this call here? It comes a little bit early.
I think it's a great call because there are many elements within the British political system that are trying to scupper Brexit, and an election will clarify things, especially if current trends hold. If current trends hold, she will win a resounding majority, and this will certainly strengthen her hand in the Brexit negotiations and weaken the Liberal Democrats, the Labour, and the House of Lords. So I think it's a great call.
What was pushing her in this direction, though?
She needs a strong hand to negotiate with the European Union because this Brexit is going to consume the government for the next 2 years, and it's going to be one of the most important negotiations in the post-war era. And it would have been hard for her to negotiate if after every meeting there would have been, say, voices even within her own party that would have openly objected. Then you have the Scottish nationalists that are trying to stymie her attempt to carry out Brexit. So Brexit is what largely motivated her.
You know, in Danielle's story, there was one woman who was saying that people are a little bit fatigued here. Do you think that'll count in this process?
It may. It's the third election in 2 years. It's hard to predict what will occur. Labour is in disarray. Corbyn, the Labour leader, is very unpopular. And I think Theresa May calculated that this would be the best time to call an election. But anything can happen. There could be an economic downturn. The French election might impact people's attitudes. People might begin to rethink what kind of Brexit they like, because Theresa May wants a hard Brexit, while the referendum that occurred last year did not actually settle the question of whether there should be a hard or a soft Brexit. So this is a great opportunity, I think, to clarify what kind of Brexit the country will have.
After that referendum, what shape are the forces that really wanted to remain close to the EU? How are they doing?
The Liberal Democrats are pretty much the only party that are unambiguously in favor of the EU, and they are polling at 11%. But they now have an opportunity to make their case. It's unlikely that their support will significantly increase, but they can shape the contours of the debate in a way that makes their position more convincing. They would obviously prefer a soft Brexit rather than a hard one, and now this election campaign will give them an opportunity to do precisely that.
Was the Brexit referendum, was that close? And every time they get together now to have a debate during this campaign, could this be a relitigation of that referendum?
It could, because as I mentioned a moment ago, the question of what kind of Brexit the country would have was not part of the initial referendum. We know that 52% of Britons voted in favor of Brexit, and polls indicate that a majority are still in favor of Brexit. But on the question of whether Britain should completely sever ties with the EU or whether it should have some sort of looser arrangement, that has not been settled. So during the campaign, this is going to be one of the main issues of debate. I doubt, though, that Remainers will be able to convince a majority of people of their case.
Really tough to predict what's going to happen here, but one thing we know is that we're probably going to call you to come back June the 8th, Philip.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.